Today, we are going to work on creating the background for our Rockin robots. I am going to start with my green piece of paper and my ruler. Along the edge of my paper, I am going to measure 2 inches, and I am going to put a little mark every time I count 2 inches. So there will be a mark at 2, 4, 6, 8, and then finally at 12 inches. Then I'm going to turn my paper on the shorter side and do the same thing. Put a mark at every 2 inches, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Because this side is 9 inches, it's not going to have an extra mark along the edge. It'll just be a 1-inch mark. Only on one side, the long side, and one side of the short side, do you do these marks. On the opposite corner, put a dot. From the opposite corner, in that dot, to the marks that you made, you are going to draw diagonal lines. Always start at the dot and then go to the mark. Start at the dot and go to the mark. Hold your hand like an L shape to make sure the ruler does not move on you while you are drawing these lines. It's okay if they're not perfect. Just try your best to get them nice and straight. Make sure you connect the main dot to all of the marks on both sides of the paper that we made, the long side and the short side. Now I'm going to use my scissors and cut out my triangles. I'm going to start on the mark and cut towards the dot. Always cut towards the dot. The lines are really confusing up there by that dot, and it's hard to see which one is which. So I always like to start on the mark at the wider point of the triangle and cut towards the dot. If they're not perfect, that's okay, but try your best to get them nice and straight. That's looking good. I'm going to continue cutting out all of my triangles. I'm going to make triangles in 2 different colors, in blue and green. I am now going to arrange them onto my paper, and then I'm going to glue them down where I want them to go. I'm going to make sure I try to have the same amount on both sides of my paper so they're evenly distributed around my picture. I'm going to glue down just a little bit, only on the part of the triangle that actually goes on the black paper. You don't have to glue the whole triangle. Once all the pieces are glued down, go ahead and flip it over and cut off the extra part of the triangle that's sticking off the edge of your paper. We're going to cut off all those extra pieces. I'm going to carefully trim around all the parts of my paper until all those extra pieces are gone. Now I'm going to take my background and my robot that I have already cut out, and I'm going to decide where to place him in my picture. That looks good. I could turn him to the side. If he sticks off the edge of the paper just a little bit, that's okay, but his whole body does kind of need to be in the middle of the picture. Don't let his arms and legs stick off the edge too much. Once you're done, clean up your materials, put your stuff away, and you are all finished with your Rockin' robot.